Here's another project called Creation of Adam. Uh, you see on the screen three folders. Uh, when I do my projects, I separate into parts. First, before I start the project, I do the computer generated presentation so that I can convince customer. Sometimes, they want to see something. It, they're usually expensive projects, and I would definitely recommend doing this if there, especially if there are competitions. Let's take a look at this. This is actually the how the wall um, look like before. Like there's a couch here, and there's some spackles and some repairs in the background. Instead of painting this area, uh, I thought my customer said it makes more sense if he hires a muralist to just do two things at once. So this is how it was. And if we take a look at the computer generated image, I'm not going to open the Photoshop, but let's take a look at this the second image. Yeah, it's kind of a Photoshop. Obviously, you can see the sharp lines. This is an image online. I just grabbed it somewhere. I'm not really using it, somewhere. I just got as an example part of it. Actually, this creation of Adam is larger mural than this. So I put like some kind of embossed frame around it, just a presentation, but it end up it's a different look, different tiles. Anyway, this the presentation for the customer, so I would recommend that one. So let's go back and the sketches. Sometimes you do sketches too. In this case, I do have one thing. Let's take a look at it, what it is. Let's double click on it. That is, yeah, it opened with. Okay, yeah, the sketch shows, remember the computer generated, it had a really like basic embossed border. This one is additional information for the customer that's saying, okay, this is gonna be tile work, 3D, trompe loyal. It's like uh, vantage point based murals, I should say, but it is actually called trompe loyal. I think it's in French, illusion eye or something like that, fool the eye or something like that. I read it in the past, but I really don't bother too much reading uh, than what I do. Yeah, this is another information for the customer, and he liked it, and we started the project. So these are necessary. You gotta do these things to get the job. Uh, but once you are really popular and word of mouth works so badly, in this case badly, it's a good thing, then you really don't have to do anything. They just trust you. It is pretty strong thing, that word of mouth, and you just get like too many projects and you cannot even handle it anymore. So you increase your price because it's a demand and price. I don't know in economics what it is called, but you increase the price when you can't handle it anymore. So let's take a look at the images here. So the images folder, I usually do it for progress, like what I've done, because I know that later when I have a chance, I create either a video from these, and I used to do videos like with a nice background music, but yeah, time is money. I don't have much time. That's why I'm gonna do this kind of presentations. I know it's boring, but well, I wanna teach because I'm 50 years old and I just like to teach from now on. I still do, and yeah, by the way, I'm a software engineer. That's my work, the workday job. And let's take a look at it. You already saw this first image, and it's an empty wall and speckles. And let's take a look at that one. Let's open it with this image viewer that has a slide feature, so we can go towards right. So if you look at here, there is some painting job done after the first image, but there is still some color sheen difference here. Let's go to next. And yeah, it's clearly you can see sheen difference. Someone tried to match the green color. It might be my customer. I hope he wouldn't see this video. But it looks like he didn't really do a good job. Okay, here it is. I think I did two creation of atoms for him. I did it once for, I'm not sure, it's been a long time, but let's focus on this one. Here is an example that I'm going to be drawn. So in this case, I really don't bother the computer generated anymore, because that was only presentation for the customer, because everything is in your mind. That is um, building while you're painting. So I wanted to do this kind of 3D frame first, and then I'm going to paint the the part of the creational atom inside the frame border. By the way, this is pretty popular. People are demanding this, especially religious people are really like, if you have examples of creation atom. Actually, I've done it like more than 4 or 5 times. Uh, Probably I'll show others later in other videos. Maybe I have already in the past one of my old videos. You can take a look at it in this channel. Uh, yeah, you can make money from this creation of atom. Especially if you memorize it, it's going to be pretty quick for you to finish. Okay, let's go to next image. So you use masking tape. As you see, you just tape it really nice, because you know that you're not going to do anything outside, and you'll be doing things inside this for the border. And here we go. Actually, again, I just put the images here. This is a long time ago I did this, and we're looking at it, and I'm explaining what I've done. I know it's boring. That would be nice while I'm doing it over there, but again, you just need to get it done. Time is money. I really don't care about the money that much, but time is important for me. I have to get it done as quick as possible. Unless customer really wants me to spend a lot of time. Uh, well, there's a cost for that. Again, after the taping, I know that the border is going to be right here, so I ignored it. But I know that it's going to go over there. So I started the inside, and here is I put the kind of the initial colors here, little highlights. You can see some taupe colors here on the left arm. The god is on here. That's the atom. And yeah, the atom's leg also has some colors for the starter point. Let's go to next. And in here I can see more colors on the god's hand. Again, still the first layer, because first layer means that since I didn't complete other missing parts, that means it cannot be possible the first layer. Okay, here you go. This is officially, it's considered first layer, even though there's one missing part here. I believe that's a dark color, as far as I remember. Yeah, no, actually it's green here. Yeah, it's green, different green. Okay, and yeah, let's go, keep going. Yeah, more renderings on the arms, especially on God's hand. Yeah, the Adam's arm is quite a bit of done. Yeah, the leg also got quite of highlights and shadows. Also, the different color green kind of I shouldn't say, kind of bluish green, turquoise color. That's why that was, I didn't get it done at first place. Let's go and take a look at this. Also, I put some blue here. Uh, Murals are actually, it's not scary. I mean, anybody can do murals. It's just you need to start from somewhere. I mean, in here you don't see my brush stroke, how I do it, but it's pretty much colors, for God's sake. It's just, for God's sake, for the creation of it. For God's sake, here is God's hand, and for God's sake. You get the white color, and you can do like the sketch. Probably I've done sketch here, like roughly sketch, because I always start with the sketch, because it is easy to fix the proportions on the sketch level. There is nothing embarrassed for it. Uh, you need to embarrass of. You're doing a job. That's a job. You're not really creating a new thing. It's just there's a creation of Adam already exist. You're just cloning it for a customer to make him happy. So it's a job for you. Uh, yeah, maybe the borders around it's gonna be your thing, but other than inside is you're copying it. So you can do sketches. You can even do like a projector. Just for God's sake, do the projector and make it in 10 minutes. You can do the drawing and perfect orientation, perfect portions, and everything is perfect. Just do it because it's commercial. I mean, for you. Unless you're doing your own project, then get your brush and do whatever you want. Let's go to next. Yeah, put the white color here, put greens over there after you do the sketch, and put the darks and highlights. I would definitely recommend darks first and highlights, but I'm kind of like, when I have a paint, probably I had white color in here, and I didn't want to waste it, and I used it for the legs and stuff. You remember the 3-4 images below? You saw the highlights on the leg. Normally, highlights should be towards the end. That's actually a real image that I was looking at it. Here you go. It's more renderings and smoother curves, uh, cracks. These cracks are actually a problem. Wasn't the part of the painting when it is painted. Uh, it was, the crack on the paint actually. In time, this happens. But I'm cloning it, right? Yeah, that's pretty dark shadows here to give a depth, but let's keep going. And here you go. Probably I'm done with the painting part, the inside part, and I wanted to go to the trompe l'oeil part, the 3D vantage point uh, part starts at this point. And as you see, let me actually, I know that now you're gonna say like, come on, I mean, Esen, my name is Esen by the way, Murals by Esen. Come on, Esen, like you didn't show us like how did you get like this nice, I don't know if it's nice, that should be your something you should say, not me. But when I say it's when you look at from this vantage point, it looks like you're looking outside. The wall, it's just fooling your eye. It is fooling my eye. I'm the one who did it, but it's fooling my eye. So how did we do this? This is not hard. It's pretty easy. It's just tapes. These masking tapes, it's a lifesaver for these kind of projects, especially straight edges. Even if it's curved, you can kind of cut the one side of the masking tape. That's gonna give you flexibility to make nice curves. And yeah, you can do probably later videos. I'm gonna show you how to do nice arches with the masking tape, just using simple scissors. And in here, it's just after you do the masking, you just simply with a sponge or whatever it is, put like 3-4 different tones like dark, two mediums, and one highlight in different parts randomly on a sponge or whatever tool you use. Maybe it's 2 inches brush, it's fine, but don't go any less than 2 inches brush, because that's gonna not gonna make it like this old world looking wall. So minimum 2 inches brush. And after you do that, let's just zoom in here. After you did this part, like this kind of variation of colors, neutral colors, you can see it actually in here better. Uh, this is, I didn't just go over there and with a fine brush I did this. No, it would never finish if you do it this way. You have to do it, you have to finish like this, from this part to this part. You have to get it done in 1 minute, like crop top, different, just change the angle of the tool and then dab, 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 and you'll get this one. And randomly, don't even think about it. If you think about it, it won't work. And after you do that, and then you're gonna do, for instance, like this side is darker than definitely this side. And in order to do this side darker than this side, when you paint this side, you'll be remembering that what colors you used for the right side. You cannot put same color, same light colors for this side. It has to be darker tones. For instance, if you're using 4 different neutral colors, like one is dark brown color, kind of taupish dark, and one beige color, and one medium taupe color, and one light color, then you can use the light color and beige. For instance, it looks like I use beige and beige and the light color for the right side, the inside part of the window, and on the left side I use the dark taupe and the medium taupe. I use classic taupe. I remember that I always use classic taupe. That's a Home Depot color. If you want more color names, like Sweet Georgia Brown, I guess was another one I used for this darker side. And this is a beige color. I can't remember what it was, but any beige color with some really like off-white color would work for this area. So if you look at this lower part, like this highlighted lower part inside the window, definitely highlight color is dominant and medium taupe is dominant. I didn't want to use beige here to make the contrast. That is, when you do that one, sometimes accidentally use that one. I don't know, maybe I've done it accidentally, but it worked. And in here, it's completely like towards the darkest color that I use, with a little bit grays in it, and it works really nice. So that's how it is. And of course, like there's this shadow here. It is I'm casting the shadow of this side to here. That actually fools the eye. And same thing in this corner. This wall casts a shadow here, and again, those are like key points that important. And in here, yeah, it shouldn't be any shadow because sun is hidden from there. And if you look at here on the arms and like a wrist, the sun is kind of hidden from that area. Yeah, so I don't know where it actually comes from, but so this is my well, whatever I want to do, I can do. And after this part, after you get this nice 3D look as a block, no pattern, no Greek keys yet, then you are 50% done for the board. The rest of it is very easy. I know it's time consuming, but it's easy. It's just pattern. All you need to do is, let's just take a probably in the future images it's going to be better, but let's just start from here. As you see, it's you can kind of get a kind of you can get a template. Like if you look at this paper here. Probably I have a template here. You can just draw first over it and then do darks first and then highlights. If you look at here, there's a dark line here, dark line here, dark line, because the light is hidden from coming from this direction and hidden. So this is light, light, dark, dark, light, 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 dark, dark. It's just simple trick. And let's take a look at the next image. Here you go. In here, Greek keys are getting better, and looks like I didn't do anything else rest of it. And again, the Greek keys are done for the right side too. It's pretty nice. It's not too prominent colors for the Greek key because it's inside the house. If it was outside the house with a direct sunlight, and if the grooves were really deep, then we could have done it more darker shadows and highlights, not really highlights but shadows. It would make sense, but for the inside, the light source cannot be causing that kind of contrast. So that keeping in your mind, if you exaggerated it for inside the wall, uh, it will look fake. Uh, but in this case, if you look at this right side, that's actually a shadow. That's an illusion, uh, and it makes this looks like a border, like underneath also same shadow, and it makes it look like it's sticking out. And you can do shadow. In this case, I actually got the original wall color, this one, and mix it with a little bit black. I don't. I'm not. I cannot remember if I use, but pretty much I mixed it to do this. If you use directly black color, you're not gonna get that realistic depth because it will look fake. Especially if they get closer, they'll see the black color. In real life, shadows are not black. Shadows are the darker tones of the colors. Uh, yeah, any like solid black, it's gonna make it look fake. Maybe you can do a line, that's acceptable. Okay, in this case, I also use highlight on the edge. This is really important. This highlight is important, I'm telling you. It's important. If you don't do this, you're not gonna finalize the 3D trompe l'oeil look, the 3D look. Realistic look, I should say. Again, there's a highlight on this corner, but this highlight in this corner is different than this one. This one definitely, uh, it's naturally, that's how, if you observe objects, every object has that corner highlight, even if it's a really pitch black uh, cube. uh, if you put it in any light source, in order to see it, it has to be some form of light, because in darkness you can't see the dark cube, but it has to be some kind of light, and definitely you'll see a corner lighter than the side surfaces, because surfaces are reflecting right different direction, but the corner always reflecting light back to you. That's why you see you get more light beams from the corner than angled sides. So that is important. Uh, yep, there's a little bit here, but if you notice, I didn't put in here because that is important. If you make it like all like solid lines, that doesn't work either. If you look at here, there is some parts are brighter than some parts. That is important because there is a faux in the background, and that faux also like old world texture on the block also changes the reflection of the light. So that is important too. You just cannot do solid line. Keep in that your mind. And again, this shadow right here, and previously we didn't have this highlight, so that highlight also it's slightly darker than this highlight here. Important. Alright, and another, like, since this Greek key is only on the left and right, so I had to do a little bit groove darkness on here, dark line, like kind of completing the Greek key from left to right, and dark on the top, light on the bottom. So that gave really additional connection point. I think let's just take a look at it. I think this is good. This is, I believe, while I'm still working on it, images. Yep. And this is from the back with a different light source. Yep. Let's close up. Yeah. Let's a little bit more close up. You can see the Greek key. Sometimes, you might confuse when you do Greek key, but there's different forms. This doesn't actually look like a Greek key. I just noticed that it is going like that and it ends here. Normally Greek key doesn't end. So this tip right here, it should curve here and go back and keep going. So this should never stop. That's what the Greek key, just to let you know. That's a close up to the hand. Okay, that's the end. This is good for today. Thank you.